The forest welcomed him. Sunlight dappled through the canopy, birds sang, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves. He smiled, breathing deeply. This was the life. 8 hours he'd planned, a loop back to the car. He checked his watch, barely 2 hours gone. Time to push on. The path wound deeper into the woods. The sun climbed higher. He paused, wiping sweat from his brow. Something felt different. The light, maybe? He shrugged, pushing the thought away. Just a trick of the trees. He continued on, confidence waning with each step. He stopped, heart pounding. This wasn't right. The trees seemed thicker, the air heavier. Panic welled in his chest. He turned, retracing his steps. The familiar landmarks were gone. He was lost. Shadows stretched, mimicking his fear. The sun dipped lower, a burning eye in the sky. He stumbled through the undergrowth, branches snagging at his clothes. Each rustle of leaves sounded like a whisper, each shadow a lurking beast. Despair tightened its grip. He pushed onward, fueled by adrenaline and fear. The forest grew darker, closing in like a tomb. He tripped, falling heavily. Despondency threatened to overwhelm him, but then through the trees, a flicker, light. Hope surged. He scrambled towards it, a clearing, and there, silhouetted against the last embers of daylight, stood a cabin. Small, dilapidated, but a beacon nonetheless. He stumbled towards it, each step a victory. He reached the porch, collapsing against the rough wood. Safety, for now. The door creaked open, revealing darkness. He stepped inside, the scent of damp earth and decay filling his nostrils. He fumbled for his flashlight, the beam cutting through the gloom. Dust motes danced in the air. Cobwebs draped the furniture like ghostly shrouds. He shivered, a prickle of unease crawling up his spine. His gaze fell on the far wall. Portraits, dozens of them. Men and women stared back at him, their eyes hollow and accusing. He shone the light closer. Their faces, though faded and cracked, held an unsettling intensity. He looked away, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. He found a dusty lantern, coaxing a flickering flame to life. The shadows danced, twisting the portraits into grotesque caricatures. He tried to ignore them, focusing on building a fire in the old hearth. The flames brought a semblance of warmth and comfort, but the portraits loomed, their gazes unwavering. He couldn't shake the feeling that they were judging him, their silence heavy with unspoken accusations. He slept fitfully, haunted by nightmares of watchful eyes and accusing whispers. When he woke, the cabin was bathed in a strange, cold light. He stumbled to his feet, drawn to the source, the portraits, but something was different. He stared, his blood turning to ice. They weren't portraits, they were windows, and the faces he had seen the night before, they weren't painted on. They were pressed against the glass, peering in, watching, waiting. He didn't scream. He couldn't. Terror had choked his voice. He stumbled back, tripping over his own feet. The cabin spun, the faces in the windows multiplying, morphing into a grotesque, jeering audience. He squeezed his eyes shut, willing it all away, but the image remained, seared onto the back of his eyelids. He was trapped, and they were waiting.